Yo, Cancer rising, sex and astrology. Let's talk about it. In the chart, 5th, 8th, 12th house, and Valentine's Day 2026. Pew! Hey, what's up, everybody? Eric Taylor, BigEAstro, back with my series, Sex and Astrology, in the chart. And then also, I'm adding Valentine's Day 2026 towards the end to break that down for you. And this is for Cancer risings. All right. And I will be announcing very soon, before the end of the month of January, my new service breaking down sex and astrology in the birth chart, which will be really fascinating, and hopefully you guys take advantage of it. So for Cancer risings, right, that fifth house of dating and romance and fun sex, that is Scorpio. Can be kind of intense. Think back to your high school, college years, and just in general, that fifth house is 28. It's 16. It's 40, 52, 64. So, hey, we could all be dating those ages. And then the eighth house of the, more deeper, intimate sex, sometimes darker, you're dealing with Aquarius there. So you go from Scorpio to Aquarius, and then the 12th house is Gemini. So in the bedroom for sex, you want to communicate. It's all hands on deck. It's a lot of talk. Maybe some dirty talk. We'll have to look at your own individual charts. But then we'll look at the energy for Valentine's Day for you guys, where the moon's in Capricorn in your seventh house. And obviously, you're going to have Venus and Pisces in the ninth house. So maybe you're doing some traveling, but we'll get into it all. All right. Cancer risings, breaking down sex in astrology in the chart. And then also for Valentine's Day 2026. Big E Astrology. Pew! All right, Cancer risings. You're ruled by the moon. So the fact that the moon's in Capricorn, your chart ruler, relationships will be on your mind. And maybe if you're married, that's a good thing. And maybe if you're single, it could be good or bad. But first, we're going to just look at sex in the chart for you generally. Okay, but you do, like I said, want to locate that chart ruler. Where's the moon? You're driven by the moon. New moons and full moons can affect you greatly. But remember, being a Cancer rising, right? Jupiter, we're not looking at that right now. We'll talk about that more when we look at the Valentine's Day. But it is here to June 30th. But Cancer as an ascendant, because you feel, therefore you know. It's I feel. And you feel deeply. You're naturally very nurturing and caring. And you can be that way in relationships. So we look at the fifth house of dating, romance, and fun sex. And yes, remember I told you it's your high school, college years. But this could, like I said, 28, 40, 52. Right, 64, you could still be looking for love and relationships. So with Scorpio, we're just looking at it empty. There you really want trust. You feel more comfortable, Cancer risings, when you're dating someone that that there's a level of trust. Sometimes you could be a little private, secretive, vague. You don't want everybody up in your cookie jar when you're going out on a date. You're not trying to tell every sibling, cousin, your parents. Sometimes you're just like, shh, it's just me and you, right? Just chilling. And it can be very intimate, very intense, okay, with Scorpio here. So you can attract literally a Scorpio, someone rising, but intense partners, okay? You do got to watch out for the lower vibration, stalker, somebody, obsessive or controlling, compulsive, whatever. But for the most part, it's very powerful soul merging, deep intimacy, and can be some really intense, fun sex, okay? We don't look at the seventh house of the marriage and relationship because we're just focusing on the sex, but it is obviously Capricorn and all that. But for the eighth house, Aquarius, we're not focused on these planets yet. Just having Aquarius in eighth house, well, it's sex, power, control, intimacy. But this could be the, things that are hidden, private. It's also after the marriage. So it could be sex after the marriage, but it can just be sex in general anytime, okay? That's like 31, 29 years old, 43, 55, right? That's my age, eighth house perfection, 67. So these things can be on your mind too. Specifically, it does those ages. Now, Aquarius, you could be a little detached. You could be kind of like you want the mental stimulation, and maybe you need someone that is a little freaky. Aquarius can be a little freaky, but there is an emotional detachment. And Aquarius sun and risings can be physically or sexually attracted to you, Cancer risings, just so you know that. That's really important. But also there's a measure of like information or spiritual or sex. Maybe this could be some toys. I don't know. But things like that, right? Technology. Yeah. So that could definitely play in there for you, Cancer risings, and maybe you like that, or just your partners like that. You'd have to let me know that. That's why I'm telling people you can email me for giving me insights and tips. You want to keep it private, and I'm always very classy about that. Eric at BigEAstro.com. But now the 12th house, just is the bedroom for bed pleasures, right? You're going to have the Gemini here. So you need to be mentally stimulated, but with Gemini, they could be kind of like hot and heavy. Gemini and Leo, the two of the most sexual signs. Then I would say Scorpio, Virgo, Sag, Virgo. Then you could throw in Libra, Aquarius. But I would say with the Gemini in the 12th house, there could be a lot of flirting, a lot of communication. This is definitely like Netflix and chill, up in the bedroom. But, just remember, you're gonna probably verbally want that foreplay. That will stimulate your mind. You want your mind stimulated. And definitely, this can get it could get a little freaky and kinky, get a little frupple thing going here maybe between the 8th and the 12th, the Aquarius and Gemini. Yeah. But, you may be more conservative and not into that. But just talking about what the energies can show with Gemini in the 12th house, I think the main thing is that you would need the communication. But Gemini is the hands, the ears. So there's also the communication and the talking and listening. Can be very important. Okay. Now let's talk about Valentine's Day 2026. And Jupiter's on your ascendant. So you're going to be feeling very abundant, very vibrant. There could be a lot of attention on you, and it could be just an abundant day for you. Okay. Now with that 5th house Scorpio, the vertex is there, and Lilith. This could be a very charged Valentine's Day. If you're going out with a group of girls, the ladies, guys can definitely come and hit on you, and they'll pick you out of the crowd, just so you know. But, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, risings are kind of your tribe. So this could be, this can be a little kinky, a little hot. So just get ready, that can definitely play out. But you want to feel it in your gut. If you don't feel like this is the right date or the right person, because Lilith can bring in some darker side too. And it's not, nothing you're doing wrong, male or female. It's pheromones, hormones, but it can be intense sexual energy. So people can really want to like devour you. So just be prepared. And if you want that, or if you don't want that, okay? Now the 7th house, obviously, we're dealing with the moon in Capricorn and Juno. So this is good for married couples, right? People that have been together for a while. This can be very sweet and loving and romantic, but we're focused on the 8th house, okay? We got the sun there, the vitality, the purpose, the confidence, right? We're dealing with the Mars, okay? And we've got the Pluto. This, let's be honest, this is definitely intense sexual energy for you, Valentine's Day, Cancer risings. You could initiate it, Mars's brothers, boyfriends, but this is the after the marriage, married couples can be very hot and sexy. But even if you're single, this could be a Valentine's Day one night stand. I don't, support or encourage, I'm not, but I'm also not judging. But Mars is our willpower, our sex drive. For the ladies, this is like, you could be very attracted to, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, risings. And Aquarius, Sun, Moon, risings can be attracted to you, Cancers. Okay. And for the fellas, your sexual energy is in the 8th house. So you're going to want that transformative, weird, kinky, trying different things type stuff. With Pluto and the sun there, oh, it's on and popping for Cancer rising fellas. Like, they're like, let's go. Okay. You feel vitalized, you feel sexualized, you feel, intense and transformative and secretive with the Pluto. Like, that's a lot. Okay. So you got some Valentine's Day, Cancer risings, some intense energy, okay? And then, or obviously I told you the Venus and Pisces and Mercury, so you can maybe meet some people after work or going out with groups, things like that. That's the public image. But the 12th house is the bedroom and bed pleasures, right? We've got the part of fortune, but we're dealing with Gemini. The main thing here is that, and Eros is there, the love language. So that's big. So this could be very, very like a lot of like verbal foreplay, a lot of like, just making out, kissing, but definitely sexual energy for you. And communicating and talking about it, a little dirty talk, So that's the main deal for you, Cancer risings, for the chart in general. Scorpio, Aquarius, Gemini. Obviously, in a personal reading, we would be looking at your planetary alignments for you, Cancer rising. So that's important once I create the service to book that, because that's going to make the difference in your personal chart, okay? And transits will affect things as well. But your houses always stay the same, the planets will move. But in the birth chart, it tells me just how you are with your sexual energy in general. Okay, this is for Valentine's Day. These are alignments for you. So these are the transits for you. So just pay attention to that and move accordingly. Okay, and it should be fun. Should be good times. I mean, Saturn and Neptune in the 10th house. Could be dreamy. And maybe don't get involved with a boss. But basically, Cancer risings, I think, you've got some great energy in general, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Gemini. And when it comes to Valentine's Day, whoa. Okay, and just remember that Lilith, I want to just tell you this, that Lilith is kind of 27, almost squaring that sun. Okay, yeah, so the Lilith is squaring the sun, so there could be some, disagreements about certain things, about, the date and how it's going to end up and whatever, so just be mindful of that. Lilith square sun, there could be some rejection or some repressed energy coming out where maybe you don't want to move that fast and someone is trying to be too sexual. So please be careful, ladies, okay? Just be mindful of that. So that's it. Eric Taylor, BigEAstro Astrology, Sex and Astrology for Cancer risings in the chart, and also Valentine's Day 2026. Pew. All right, Cancer risings, Sex and Astrology 2026 Valentine's Day, but also in the chart. So we looked at in the chart first, and then, for Valentine's Day. And just know with Scorpio in the 5th house, you want to have that trust, whoever you're dating, and music and feeling, like tap into that empathic energy. You need to feel that you can trust them, but there's just this vibe. That's a lot of vibe for you in the dating, romance, fun, sex. And then the Aquarius 8th house, could be a little different, a little detached. It's Saturn, Uranus, so it can get bondage and freaky too. Don't be tying me up. And then the 12th house, Gemini, a lot of communication. Could be romantic talk, could be dirty talk, whatever. For Valentine's Day itself, just that Lilith square sun, please be safe and be careful. Could be a very intense, deep, intimate, soul-merging sexual evening. Weekend. It's a Saturday. It could be the whole weekend. You ain't going nowhere. You got bonbons and Netflix, and you just like, we doing it. And have fun, but be safe. And then that 8th house, Mars, Sun, Pluto, that is very intense. So if you're married, that's great. If you're not, there could be a lot of Aquarius, Sun, Moon risings coming for you, Cancer rising. You could just go out looking cute, and Aquarius is like, yo, what's your name? What's your number? Okay, and then the Gemini 12th house, a lot of talking, flirting, stuff like that in the bedroom. Communication, but the hands. So massage, almost like Taurus, it's just a little bit different. Taurus is all the senses, and Gemini, it's the hands, the communication, right? Ears, shoulders, wrists. So just explore and have fun, all right? But this is Sex and Astrology for Cancer risings in the chart, and also Valentine's Day 2026. Please email me any thoughts, questions, anything you want to share. Eric, and it's always going to be private, Eric, BigEAstrology.com, and I'll be announcing my sex and astrology chart reading sooner than later. Bye, Cancer Risings. Peace. Pew. The moon is me, my body, health, and family.
I'm howling at the moon, 'cause I don't wanna be alone.
The moon is how I respond and react. Intuitive feelings, absorbing the facts. The moon is me, my body, health, and family.
I'm howling at the moon, 'cause I don't wanna be alone.
The moon is connected to my emotion. The moon is connected